Hello friends, this is Becky. Welcome back to my channel. On my channel, I am going through my good midlife crisis where I am journeying through my 40s and I am working oh so hard to get my poop in a group. In order to do this, I have been working on my physical, my financial, and my mental health, and today we are going to be working on my financial health. This is going to be the setup of my April 2024 budget, and we are going to be doing that using the Budget by Paycheck book by the Budget Mom. I print that out. I have a digital version of it, and I print out just the pages I want to use, which consist of her budget by the calendar, the budget pages, and the expense trackers, and then the closeout pages at the end of the month. I don't print out the cash pages because I am not a cash budgeter. I use an app called YNAB, which is you need a budget to digitally cash stuff my money when I get my paychecks. And I do have an entire playlist of those that I will link below if you are interested in following along with that journey as well. What I like to do is I start on the monthly calendar page just so we can get an idea of what my overall goals are and what my month looks like, and then we'll go in and we'll break it down week by week. I am paid bi-weekly, but I do budget weekly. The stickers that I use are from Life in Envelopes, and I will link the Etsy shop where I purchased these below. These weight trackers are part of my health journey, and I will link them below. They are from, I can't remember the name of the shop, but that's a different that is a different shop on Etsy. And then these other little stickers, not these are from Jennifer Bleacher, Life in Envelopes, but these little Hello Spring and others, these are just from a little sticker pack I picked up at Walmart. So I can't link them, but they are from Walmart. They're just part of that. So April is going to be a 5-week month for me. My first paycheck actually was on Friday. It was my last paycheck of March, but since it was on the very end of March, I'm including it in my April budget. So that starts my first budget of April is going to go from the 30th, actually I think it was the 29th of March until the 4th of April. And then it'll go from there. So I get Friday the 5th, the 12th, the 19th, and the 26th. Those are going to be my 5 weeks of April. I have actually quite a bit, but I didn't put it on my calendar. My mom is having cataract surgery this month, but I have amazing friends and family that are going to be helping me out with bringing her to and from her appointments. If y'all are not familiar with my channel, my mom lives about 45 minutes away. For me, I live in Central Texas. I'm in the Austin area, and my mom lives in a small town outside of Austin. And so we have amazing church family and actual family that are going to be helping out by bringing her into her appointments. So they're going to be bringing her in for her appointment on the 3rd and then the 17th. And then she'll stay overnight with me on the 17th, and I'll take her to her follow-up on the 18th. Somebody's going to take her to her follow-up on the 4th and then on the 26th as well. So the only appointment I have to take her to is the 18th, which I'm so thankful for because I was very worried about how I was going to get the time off and go pick her up and bring her into her appointments and get her back home and back and forth. So that's very, very awesome of everybody to help me out with that. Also the 26th would have been my sister's birthday. My sister did pass away about 7.5 years ago. So my mom will be in for her appointment that day. We might go do something in memory of my sister. I'm not sure what, if anything, we will do that day. Think that might be everything going on in April. And then I have my 2 paydays on the 12th and the 26th. And then I will do my weekly weigh-in Wednesday videos. If you are familiar with my videos, you may have noticed that I missed last week. I have been so stressed out at work. Like, work has just been so busy in the last month. And then April, I will be going into tickets, which if you are familiar with me, you'll know that's where I'm normally overwhelmed and stressed. And I haven't even been in tickets, and I've been super busy. So I'm really hoping that it's not even worse, but we'll see how that goes. I'm hoping to stay on top of it. I've been trying to give myself some like relaxation. I got myself a massage last week, used some of my self-care money. I redid my whole work area, which when I film my video on Friday, I'll try to show y'all how I redid my area, but I like it. I'm liking it. It's nice and nice and calming. I bought myself a fake plant at IKEA. Fake, because Becky can't keep a plant alive. But I do have some goals that I want to go over. I'm going to try to zoom us in to my April goals. So these are not my goals. This is my, just a mess here, but I wrote them down. So I want to go to the gym at least 3 times, at least 1 week this month. So I've been going to the gym very consistently twice a week for over a year, but I want to go at least 3 times, at least one of the weeks. And then hopefully I can work up from there to go 3 times, maybe twice a week. And then maybe that can become 3 times every week and go from there. But it's just been really hard to get myself motivated to do much of anything lately because I'm so mentally exhausted. But I want to get myself to the gym at least 3 times 1 week this month. If y'all have been watching me for a while, you will have noticed that my coffee budget has gone up. I have been using some fun money, some dining out money to cover coffee overspending. So this past week, I have gone and purchased some stuff to make some iced coffee, some cold brew coffee at home. I'm going to try to limit my Dutch Brothers to 3 times a week max. That is a max, not a minimum. Max, 3 times a week. We'll see if I can do it because it used to be twice a week. And then it was 3 times a week. And then it was 4 times a week. And then it's just been creeping up. And it's very expensive. And I need to stop. I really need to stop. So Sundays before church. And then I was going after the gym on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And that needs to be my absolute limit. And if I can keep it to that, I will be very happy. And I don't have to go every time I go to the gym. But that's my absolute limit. I want to start filming my closeout videos. I am really, really bad at closing out my Budget Mom Paychecks books. I mean, I'm good at closing them out. I'm really bad at filming my closeouts. So I don't need to, but I would like to film that for y'all and post them. So that is one of my goals for this month, is to get those videos filmed and up for y'all. And then I want to send thank you cards to everyone who is helping me out with driving my mom to and from her appointments this month. I have a bunch of thank you cards on hand. I'm really bad at mailing out mail. I've always been bad at mailing out mail, even when I was a kid and like mail was the only way to mail cards because I'm 43, so we didn't have internet when I was a kid. You know, we had pen pals and stuff. I would write letters all the time and then just never mail them. So I'd even put stamps on them. I just never send them. So my goal is to actually send thank you cards to people this month for helping me out with driving my mom to and from her appointments. So these are my goals for this month. We'll see how I do. Hopefully I will film a closeout video and I can see how I did on my goals. We'll see. So that is what I have for April. Do y'all have any goals for April? Let me know what your goals are in the comment section below, and then maybe we can compare at the end of the month how we're doing. All right, let's get into week 1 because there are 5 weeks, so this might take a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, as I mentioned, week 1 for me goes from March 29th through April the 4th. And my only income was my paycheck because I closed out my month of March at the end of the previous week, so on March 28th. And I actually did a fresh start. So if you're interested in that, if you are a YNABber and interested in seeing what a fresh start in YNAB looks like, I will link that video below as well. I did a fresh start in YNAB and closed out my March budget. So my paycheck was $17.18.90, and I had my Geico bill this week. And actually, spoiler, today is actually March the 29th. The 31st. It's Easter for those of you who celebrate. So I've already done this budget. I'm running very behind because of the aforementioned stress and just not being able to do anything. So I've already done this YNAB video. But my Geico bill is going to come out tomorrow. $259.80 is what I pay. This is for 2 cars. Progressive is my mom's bill. I pay a couple of bills for my mom, and this is $116.78. And then I have a YouTube premium that I pay for my personal channel, not for this channel, but for my personal. And that is $15.14 every month. I put money aside for my mom's utilities. This is for her propane bill. She has a propane tank, and so they just come out and fill it when it gets to, I think, 30% or 20%. And so I have, it's a sinking fund, but my sinking funds are very full. So I put it over here to make sure I set it aside at the beginning of the month. I put $50 in there every month. That way when they come out, I will have some money set aside. And then gifts and giving, I put $100 every month in here for that category. That is a bill total of, again, this is a sinking fund, but there's no room in my sinking fund, so I put it over here. That is a bill total of $541.72, leaving me $1,177.18 to bring down to my cash envelopes. This is if I were a cash budgeter, what I would carry around with me in my wallet in my cash envelopes. I'm not a cash budgeter though, so this is just my like weekly budget. My dining out, I give myself $40 a week. Groceries, I give myself $100 a week. Fun money gets $10 a week. This is just for whatever I want, and I'll leave it in here until I decide to spend it. I did zero this out last week. I went to the Renaissance Fair with some friends. I had a fantastic time, but I did spend every penny that was in there. Coffee, $25 a week. It used to be $15, then it's $25, and I'm not letting that go any higher. I am stopping it here. This is madness. I'm done. Ecclesial is Nathan is laughing at me. Ecclesial is my church donation. I put $80 a week in here. $60 is my actual donation. $20 is for a meal if we go out for a meal afterwards. And spoiler, we did today. We have a brother whose wife has been waiting for a visa. She lives in Zambia, and she has been waiting for a visa for years. And they surprised us today, and she was at church today when I walked in, and that was a wonderful surprise. So we went out today for lunch to celebrate her being there, and then I'm sure we will go out again next week because we had some members who were not with us today, and I know that they will want to go out next week to celebrate her. So we'll probably go out next week as well. So I did use all of this today. Self-care is kind of, again, like a sinking fund. I put $25 every paycheck into this fund, and I just let it build up until I want to use it. I didn't quite empty this out, but I did get myself a massage this past week, so I did use most of the money that was in there. Gas, I put $25 every paycheck in here. I don't drive very much. I drive a Kia Soul, so it gets pretty good gas mileage and doesn't have a very large tank. I work from home, and I don't go very far when I do go anywhere, so I only need $25 every 2 weeks. And I did fill up today, and I didn't even use the full 25. I did use most of it, but I didn't use all of it. Pet expenses, I give myself $50 every month. This is just once a month, and since it's the beginning of the month, I put my $50 in here. This is for my dog food, cat food, and then any miscellaneous expenses that they might need, like little toys, scratch pads for my cat. And unfortunately, I did have to buy some puppy pads for one of my dogs who is getting older and unfortunately is not able to hold his bladder as well as he used to all of the time. It's not all the time, but just to be prepared. Household, this is for, I categorize this as like things you buy for your house at the grocery store that aren't groceries. So cleaning supplies, laundry detergents, things like that. Anything that you would buy at the grocery store that are not pets related and are not food. So that's what that category is. And it's just once a month at the beginning of the month. And then YouTube expenses, this used to be called budgeting expenses. But since this channel is now monetized, because y'all are amazing, thank you so much. And I'm going to have to track for tax purposes what I am spending on the channel so that I can subtract it from what I am making. I am now calling this YouTube expenses because like my stickers and my pens and what I buy for the backgrounds and things related to the channel. So I'm calling this YouTube expenses now. It's the same category. I just changed the name. I put $30 every month in here for that. So that is an envelope total of $485, leaving me $692.18 to come up to my sinking funds. This is not all of my sinking funds, but again, She does not give you very many lines here, so some of them will be done next week. Again, $692.18 left. I have a car maintenance category. I put $50 in there. Clothes, I am on a weight loss journey, so I put $25 in there. Vacation, I do have a couple of trips coming up this summer. I put $25 in there. Passport renewal, $1.77 a month, so that when my passport renewal is due in a couple of years, I will have the money set aside for it. Mission Lane is my credit card that has an annual fee. I put $4.92 a month. So these annual fees are actually going to be a little bit off because of my fresh start. I will refigure out what they're supposed to be when I do my May budget, but I did this budget before I did my fresh start. This is what they were, but that's what the budget versus actual columns are for. So I was setting aside $4.92 for Mission Lane. Amazon Prime is my Amazon Prime. I pay half of this, so I split this with Nathan, who is my roommate / landlord. He pays half and I pay half. We've had this for so long that Amazon Prime used to let you split, and where you could share your account with somebody. And they don't let you do that anymore, but if you have one of those old accounts, you can still do it. And we do have one of those old accounts, so as long as we don't cancel it, we can still share it. Planet Fitness is my gym membership, and they have, on top of the monthly membership, they have an annual fee that comes out in August, so I am setting aside $5.28 every month for that, so when the annual fee comes, I will be ready. Power Suite is my editing software, $9.59 a month for that. YNAB, again, that is the software that I use for my digital cash stuffing, $10.56, and this is the same because I'm only 2 months away from being fully funded on this, even though it's not actually due for like almost a year because everybody is so amazing and has tried it out and decided they also love it because it's amazing. And when y'all use my link to sign up for YNAB, you get 64 days for free when you sign up, and I get 30 days for free. So because of that, I'm actually very far ahead on this, but I was so close to having it fully funded that I just want to go ahead and finish funding it. So this I actually left the same. And then stuff I forgot, I just put $20 aside every month to cover like the little overages. For example, like if gas in the month of March, one of the weeks gas, I put $25 and like 50 cents in my tank. I just pulled that 50 cents out of the stuff I forgot to budget for. So I put that in there so I can cover some overspending. That gives me a sinking fund total of $158.37, leaving me $533.81 to pull down to my savings. Every month I am putting $52 into my emergency fund. I'm hoping to up that when I get into later months, because when I did my fresh start, I did pull some money out of my emergency fund. And so this was going to get me to $2,000 by the end of the year. It will not now, but I'll revisit that. But for right now, I'm still sticking with the $52. I have two great nephews, Joe and Jet. They each get $2 every paycheck. They are getting $1 a week because Joe is 1 year, Jet is about 5 months old. I'm saving their age. Once Joe turns 2, I'll start saving $2 every week. Jet is not quite 1, so once he turns 1, I'll continue to save $1 a week. And taxes, every paycheck I set $25 aside for taxes, so that way when tax season rolls around next year, I will have money set aside to pay for a tax professional to help me with my taxes, because as I mentioned, this is the first year that I am monetized. I will be monetized for the full year and have to pay taxes. And I don't really understand how to do that, so I want to pay a professional to help me with that. And then also, I did owe money this year. I only owed $20, $30, but I want to have money set aside for that just in case. So any paycheck that I get from YouTube, I am setting aside money from that, and then $25 every single time I get a paycheck from my job. So that is a savings total of $81, leaving me $452.81 to roll into week 2. This is going to be the longest one, y'all. I promise the rest of them will be faster. So here we go to week 2. Week 2 goes from April 5th through April 11th. The only income I am anticipating is that rollover of $452.81. and I only have one bill due this week, and that is Aflac, which is my supplemental cancer insurance that I pay for privately. I had this at a previous employer, and I decided to keep it because my current employer does not offer it. Plus, this policy covers my niece. She was my dependent. As I mentioned, my sister passed away, so my niece was living with me at the time. And Aflac covers your dependents for free on your cancer policy if you set that up until they are 26. So she is covered on this policy. I don't want to cancel it. This is $37.57 every month. And so that is my only bill. So that is a bill total of $37.57, leaving me $415.24 to pull down to my envelopes. On a regular paycheck week, I only have my 5 regular envelopes. So my dining out for 40, groceries for 100, fun for 10, coffee for 25, and ecclesial for 80. And that is an envelope total of $255, leaving me $160.24. I am then going to come up and do my last couple of sinking funds that are only here because they literally didn't fit on the other page. Costco, which is my Costco membership, $5.55. Car registration, which is for my vehicle inspection and registration in the state of Texas. It's due in October, $8.34. Find me gluten-free. I have celiac disease, and so I have an app on my phone that helps me find restaurants in the area that I am in, and I can find it based on rating by most celiac friendly, as rated by other people with celiac and experiences that they've had. And I have found this very useful both when I am traveling and also in my area. As I mentioned, I live in the Austin area, so we have a lot of restaurants, and they are opening constantly and closing constantly. And so if I want to try something new, it's very helpful for me to go in and see how other people have found it. And even if they advertise gluten-free, they're not always super friendly to celiac, because there's a difference between like people with a gluten intolerance and people with celiac disease. So I have found this very helpful, and it's less than $2 a month. So I definitely subscribe to that. Holiday giving is my Christmas fund, and I set aside every month $85 toward that. And I actually have already started Christmas shopping. So because I was at the Renaissance Fair last weekend, and they had some really cool one-of-a-kind handmade gifts. So I started picking stuff up. That is a sinking fund total of $173, leaving me $59.51 to roll into week 3. And that is it. I have nothing else on this, so let's go to week 3. Week 3 goes from April the 12th through April the 18th. I'm rolling over that $59.51. I should have another paycheck coming that week for $1,718.90. And then my friend Seth should be paying me for his car payment and then his part of the car insurance. This is that second car that I have in my name. He took over car payments when my niece, sorry, I have some hair, when my niece left, and neither of us could afford her car payment. So this was all part of my horrible financial decision making during grieving, and part of what made me realize I needed to have a good midlife crisis is knowing that I was making horrible decisions. And that is an income total of $2,238.41. I have 2 bills due. OneDrive, which is my Microsoft subscription for 360. It's $7.57 a month, but I put $10 in here, and I just leave the difference because I also use the overage to cover any instant ink bill that comes out. I am grandfathered into the free plan, but I only get 15 pages a month. And if I go over, which I will every couple of months because I print these pages here, it charges me $1 for every 10 pages. So I just leave a couple of dollars in here, and then it will charge me every couple of months like $2 or $3. So I leave the overage in here. And then here is my gym membership. Planet Fitness is due on the 17th, and it's $27.11. And that is a bill total of $37.11, leaving me $2,201.30. Because this is a paycheck week, I have my normal envelopes and then my 2 extras. So I have my dining out for 40, groceries for 100, fun for 10, and coffee for 25, and ecclesial for 80, and then my self-care and gas each for 25. That is an envelope total of $305, leaving me $1,896.30. I have no sinking funds. We've filled all of those. So I just have my 3 every paycheck savings for my great nephews, Joey and Jet. They each get $2, and then my taxes for $25. And that's a savings total of $29, leaving me $1,867.37 to roll to week 4. The 4th week of April goes from the 19th through the 25th. Again, that's a Friday through a Thursday. And the only income I am anticipating is that rollover of $1,876.30. I have 3 bills due this day. Mattress Firm, which is my mattress, that is $80 due on the 21st. Optimum, which is my internet, due on the 23rd. I don't know exactly how much it's going to be. It's $65 plus taxes and fees, so I'm budgeting $70, but I don't know exactly what it will be because this is going to be the first month of this. It was 75 plus taxes, and then they gave me a discount, and then because I had been paying extra, I paid a lot less this past month because they credited me for the extra that I had paid, so I paid less than $60 this past month. But that's not going to be what I pay this next month. I have no idea what I'm going to pay. I'm just going to budget $70. And then I have a debt consolidation loan that I pay $167 as my minimum payment on. That is due on the 25th. So that is a bill total of $317. And that gives me $1,550.30. I have just my 5 regular envelopes. For dining out for $40, groceries for $100, fun for $10, coffee for $25, and ecclesial for $80. And that is an envelope total of $255, leaving me $1,295.30. I forgot to say, if I don't go out for a meal after church with everybody, the extra $20 for the dining out afterwards just goes back into my budget, and I'll roll that into next week. That does not go toward my dining out for another meal. That is specifically for a meal with my church family. That's it. It doesn't go towards something else. It goes back into my budget if I don't use it for that. So I know a lot of people follow my journey, and so they already know that, but in case somebody else is new, welcome. Thank you for clicking on this video. I hope this is useful for you. That's what I do with that money. And then the only other thing I have is my extra payment for my debt consolidation. I figured out that if I want to pay off this debt consolidation loan this year, I have to pay at least $300 every month. And so I am making an extra payment of $133 every month on this loan. And that gives me an extra debt total of $133 for this month. So that leaves me $1,162.33 to roll into week 5. And this will be a 5-week month, and this will be the final week. So 1 second, we'll get to week 5. Week 5 is going to be very similar to week 1 because it has another first of the month in it. So week 5 goes from 4/26 to 5/2. I have the rollover of $1,162.30, and then I have a paycheck, which is my second paycheck. It's only my second paycheck of April, but it's all the way at the very end of the month, and that's $1,718.90. So that is an income total of $2,881.20. I have quite a few bills due on this one. So I have a Cinemark movie subscription that comes out on the 26th. This gets me 1 free movie every 2 months, and then 20% off of my concessions, and I don't pay any online fees when I book a movie. So Cinemark is a movie theater, by the way. So I have kept this because it's useful. I don't see very many movies, but it's really nice to not pay any online fees when you're booking a movie and to get 20% off your concessions. And you can roll these over, and you can use these tickets for friends. So if I have 2 or 3, I can take a friend or 2 with me to go see a movie. So, and if I don't have an extra one, I actually get a little bit of a discounted movie ticket price if I buy them a ticket. So this is not sponsored, or I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I just actually think it's a really good deal. So I keep this. American Express is my American Express card. And I just opened this card, and I used this card to book some plane tickets to go on my vacation, where I'm going up to Washington State to watch Nathan's son graduate this summer. So this is no interest until May of next year. So $40 is the minimum payment that I have to pay to get this card paid to zero by next May. So it auto drafts on the 26th every month. That is what will come out. Seth's car, this is where that second car payment will come out. He's already paid me for it. You saw that money come in a couple of weeks ago. So the minimum payment that will auto draft is $269.85. My utility bill, I budget $120 a month. It is not normally this much. It's normally around $100, but in the summertime when Nathan's kids are here and we're taking more showers because it's Texas and it's hot and we're going to the pool, it does get closer to this. So I budget this all year round just to make sure I'm covered. But it'll probably be closer to $100. Rent, I budget around $600. My rent is actually $500, but by the time I cover what he pays, because he also pays my phone, I have 2 phone lines on his phone plan actually, for myself and my mom, and then he also pays like the what do you call that stuff? The gas bill and the electricity bill, and so by the time everything gets evened out, I would normally owe him around $600. Again, my car insurance and my mom's car insurance are going to be due, so $116.75 for my mom's car insurance, $278.47 for my car insurance, and then $50 to set aside for my mom's utilities, and $100 for gifts and giving for the month of May. So that is a bill total of $1,581.55. That leaves me $1,299.65 to pull down to my envelopes. And here again, we have all of the beginning of the month envelopes. My dining out for $40, groceries for $100, fun for $10, coffee for $25, ecclesial for $80, self-care and gas each for $25, pet expenses for $50, household for $100, and YouTube expenses for $30. And that is an envelope total of $485, leaving me $814.65. Again, for my sinking funds, and again, not all of them, I just don't have enough lines. Car maintenance for $50, clothes for $25, vacation for $50, passport renewal for $177, Mission Lane for $492, Amazon Prime for $625, Planet Fitness for $528, Power Suite for $952, YNAB for $1054, and this will be the end of YNAB. You won't see YNAB again in my budget until next year, unless I do another restart and start again. And then stuff I forgot to budget for $20. That is a sinking fund total of $183.35, leaving me $631.30 to pull down to my extra debt. Now, we make an extra debt payment for Seth's car of only $55.42. And the reason for that random amount of money is because we previously had, with the original finance for Seth's car, it was a $325.27 minimum payment that we had to make on his car. When I did my debt consolidation loan, I also refinanced Seth's car. And it only lowered the car payment by $55.42, but it cut the interest from like 13%. I think it was like 12.9 something percent, because my credit was not very good when I did the original one. And it cut it from that to like 6.55, I think is the credit, like the interest that I have now. So that cut the interest like in half. So that was amazing. That's why I did it. But it only lowered it by $55. So Seth and I agreed that he would continue to make the same payment to try to pay it off faster, but the interest was much lower, so it's being paid off significantly faster. This should also be paid off by the end of this year. So by the end of this year, Lord willing, if we can keep doing what we're doing, I shouldn't have any debt in my name that has interest. I will still have the mattress firm card, which has no interest on it, and I will still have the American Express card, most likely, but that also has no interest on it. So but both my debt consolidation and then Seth's car will be paid off by the end of the year. So I'm very excited. So that's why this is a random $55.42 that I am making extra debt payment on. Anyway, so that leaves me $575.88 to pull down to my extra savings. Because this is the beginning of a new month, I am putting $52 into my emergency fund. Baby Joe gets $2, Baby Jet gets $2, and my taxes get $25. So that is a savings fund total of $81, leaving me $494.88 that I'm going to roll into my May budget. I would not normally I would close out my budget at the end of the month, but because I'm not going to have a paycheck in May for the first week of May, I have to roll this money into May. So that is my April budget. That is what I have going on. What do y'all have going on for April? Have you set up your budget? Do you budget? Are you just looking to get into budgeting? And if you are you going to be doing cash? Are you looking for cashless? What is looking better for you and why? I know there are very strong arguments on both sides, and some people feel very strongly that cash is much better, and some people feel very strongly that cash is not better. I see it. I would love to use cash, but my brain just doesn't like cash. My brain doesn't think cash has any meaning. And when you give me cash, I just spend it. So I am firmly in the digital budgeting side, but I like to set it up on paper first. And I like to share it with y'all. Anyway, I hope y'all are having a fantastic day. I hope your May was fantastic. May? What month are we in? March. I hope your March was fantastic and your April was even better. I will talk to y'all later. Bye.